In twilight glow I see blue eyes crying in the rain. When we kissed goodbye and parted.
Howdy, this is Eddie, here with you again today for another episode of Corn-Fed Bushcraft. The past couple of days here in Texas, it's been slow, steady, but non-stop rain. I figured this would be the perfect time for me to test out the ruggedness and durability of my bob bag. So I placed it near my shelter, exposed to the elements, for 2 straight days. Today we're going to go through the bag and see how my equipment fared through the rain and the storm. Alright, here as you can see is my bag, soaking wet. This is just your standard old Alice medium-sized bag with frame. What I plan on doing is I'm going to take each item out, lay them out, and we'll see how it fared the weather, and check out the durability of the stuff inside. Alright, first pocket contained all of my parachute cord and twine for shelter making and such. Really no worse for the wear, a little moist, but it's parachute cord, it's indestructible. I also pulled out my Peterson's field guide for wild edible plants. Have it wrapped up in a food saver bag. You can purchase them at Walmart or wherever. Not a drop of water on it, and then it's not even sealed tight. It's just got some elastic bands around it, folded over in elastic bands, and it holds up real good. Alright, next couple of pockets we have my first aid kit, which is in a Sterilite Tupperware type container, 4 locking sides, sealed lid, absolutely watertight, not a drop in it. Here we have my fishing kit, which the end comes off and all the tackle stored inside. Seen that on YouTube. Go figure. We have a sharpening stone, my saw, a couple of odd and end pocket knives, a little container here for fire starting. We have a spoon knife, homemade. I keep all this in a can that sets down inside of one of the pockets on the front of the Alice pack. It keeps the pocket in shape, and it also gives me an extra cooking pan, whatever, you know, drinking water, whatever I have a need for. This up here is my Kershaw game processing kit. Folds up real nice and neat into this little pouch right here. All of this fits in 2 pockets on the front of my Alice pack with plenty of room to spare. Alright, next we have a few items that are on the inside, the main compartment of the pack. This here's my cook set. We have a couple of the Thermos brand folding spoons. These things are incredible. They take up absolutely no space in your kit. I mean, none to be spoken of. And they lay out into a full-size spoon. Inside of there I have a fire steel. This is a Strike Force. On the end it has a little container which I keep dryer lint for starting fire. I have some waterproof matches in there. This was the main item I was worried about getting wet, which is the toilet paper, a must-have, and not a drop of water. Again, rolled up in a food saver bag with a little bit of, I think that's boot lace wrapped around it. Solid metal canteen, cooking, processing water, whatever you have a desire for, just drinking. The one thing that I absolutely forgot about was my socks. And again, soaking wet. My large knife, which happens to be one of my favorite knives, is it's a Colt. I've killed many a pig with this knife. There is absolutely no break in this knife. I mean, I have abused this knife in more ways than I could even imagine, and you're not going to tear it up. Food containers. Again, they are the watertight. These are called lock and locks. Guess they're a little cheap Walmart brand. Inside there I keep another spoon, meats, oatmeal, stuff along that lines. The meat would be like Spam and potted meat. And in this one I have rice, beans, noodles, and all of these food items in here are stored in the same food saver bags. Seems to be working great on keeping the moisture out. Again, it looks like the only thing that really got saturated was the socks. Everything else in the kit is ready to be taken out and used just like it is. None of the matches got wet. I mean, everything in the container stayed dry in the pack itself. I mean, so overall it looks like I did a fairly decent job of getting it packed. I know my kit's missing several things, but I mean, here in East Texas, it's not always necessary to have items such as a change of clothes and stuff like that. It's a nice thing to have, but it's not always a necessity. Alright, here on the side of the pack we have my military grade E-tool. You can't tear these things up. They're designed to be in the mud and the muck. On this side of the pack, that's where my machete usually goes. It's actually sitting out drying right now. It's nothing fancy. It's just a cheap grade machete. I have a 2-quart canteen attached to the side here. And like I said, it's all military grade. There's no tearing it up at all. Alright, in a normal survival situation, this part of my kit never leaves my side. This is my duty belt. On it I keep a Smith & Wesson knife with a sharpener right here on the front. I keep a compass in here. You know, so normally this pouch wouldn't, this setup here wouldn't take the kind of abuse I'm putting it through. But for today, figure, you know, why not test it with the rest of the equipment? Let's open this compass, see if it fogged up any. I don't know if you can see that, but no fog, no moisture inside the compass, so it actually sealed up good and tight. It did what it was supposed to do. This pouch here is empty at the time. I got another 1-quart military canteen. In the bottom of this, I keep a canteen cup, cooking, boiling water, the whole 9 yards. This is the heart of my duty belt kit. Inside of here is a entirely self-sufficient mini survival kit. If I got separated from my main pack, I would be able to sustain life using just this kit. In this kit I have fire steel here, the whistle. Inside of the whistle is fire start and kindling. There is another compass on top. There's a fire steel mounted on the side of this, and under the lid is a mirror for signaling. In here I have a mini first aid kit which contains Tylenol, Band-Aids, ointment, extra matches, bobby pins, you know, anything that you could use for minor emergency situations. More twine here. In this pouch on the side I keep a food gathering box, if you will, a critter getter box as some like to call it. And all it really is an Altoids tin. And inside this Altoids tin, uh-oh, almost spilt it all. Did spill some of it. I keep fish hooks, snare wires, fishing line, weights, homemade arrowheads, anything to, you know, just give myself a little bit better chance of gathering food out in the wild. And I keep a little pocket knife right beside it in the pouch. This here is also something that would never leave my side in a survival situation. It's my neck knife. It's a Mora, incredible knife, and a fire steel. Just a couple things that, you know, you're always going to need in the woods, no matter if it's a survival situation or just a hike through the woods. Alright, as you can see, most of my equipment held up fairly nice to the weather. My duty belt and my neck knife, you know, those items, they wouldn't be exposed to this kind of treatment. But I figure if I was testing the Bob bag, why not go ahead and test my entire kit. I'd say overall, it held up very well to the weather. It's kind of a learning experience. Gives me a few things to modify and adjust when I repack my kit after it dries out and I get it cleaned back up. Feel free to leave any questions or comments, and until next time.